Hey, welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Happy birthday, Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed, flip it, switch it, twist it. Interpret the message as it best resonates for you. Never force anything, okay? Know that the message always goes to the person that needs to hear the message, especially on this channel. And the reason why is because I always look at the spiritual blocks and the karmic themes that are playing out within your situation, because I don't like to just tell you what's going to happen, what did happen, what the person's thinking that you're connected to, and all that fun stuff. But I like to look again at the healing aspect. Every situation gives us an opportunity to see whether we're in alignment with our higher self, which is the part of ourself which knows what is our correct path, what we're supposed to be doing, what always knows what's the best for us. The higher self is always coming from a place of unconditional love, because the higher self is the soul part of ourself that's connected to God. The spirit part of you is the essence of you, which it's not just what your habits are and your interests and what makes you you, but also your behaviorisms, your habits, our spiritual lessons that we need to learn, unfold within our experiences, and how well we deal with those experiences play out within our relationships. Like I said, karma is all about learning. So it is fun to find out, like I said, about what your person's going to do and what they're feeling. But what's most important, especially if you're someone that keeps attracting people that are emotionally not available, or people that aren't giving you what you need, and you feel like you keep reliving the same type of karmic theme that keeps you in a place of disempowerment, that makes you not feel safe and comforted and connected. And when I mean connected to your physical self and to the world. When we're in a toxic relationship, we're up in our mind, we have anxiety, we don't really feel connected to the world. So if you're new to my channel, it's to take that into consideration when listening to my readings. Okay, also, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to number one, be ready for a shadow reading, because I will talk to you also about what's blocking in your life, because you are the healer of your life. A spiritualist, a psychic, can only create the awareness for you. So again, if you want to get a reading with me, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and like I said, be ready for the reading. And you have to write the word of the day. And the word of the day today is going to be detachment. Detachment. And you're going to write that word in your comment bar, and you'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, you and I would just correspond back and forth on YouTube, figure out the best day and time that works for both of us, and we'll be able to get a time down, and you'll find the link right underneath our comments. Okay, without further ado, I feel like the underlying energy, when I just tap into the word detachment and how does it relate to your reading, I'm feeling like you're connected to somebody that has attachment issues, but in that they're also detached. People that have detachment issues have had trauma and they've detached from themselves, and they tend to actually live more from the psychic realm, though they may be someone that's very logical and analytical. So they're logical and analytical within their everyday life, but how they interact with people is more intuitive. They don't really want to get to know people. They don't get close to people. They have trust issues. And like I said, detachment comes from trauma that hasn't been healed. And if I'm pulling it for you again, and that it's influencing your reading, Scorpio, it might also mean that you have detachment issues. And detachment issues will come about as intimate issues. And intimacy issues are really second chakra issues. And second chakra issues are all about how you feel about yourself, your unique individuality, how you perceive yourself, whether you can go with the flow of life, whether you feel safe. It's our birthing center, because when we're in our creative center, which is that second chakra, we're embodied, we're in our body and we are creating, right? We're able to go with the flow of life, regardless of what's happening in our life, because we are doing what we love. We're in the passion for life. That's why that second chakra is located near our genitals, right? It's because it's the passion for life center. It's the birthing center. Well, from a metaphysical, spiritual perspective, it's the birthing of dreams. It's the manifestation of goals. It's how we perceive ourselves. And so it's also our emotional center. So when we don't feel good about ourselves, we tend to get very emotional. And what I feel is if you're connected to someone that's detached because they don't like to feel their feelings, they don't like to feel their emotions, they tend to approach life from a very logical and analytical perception. And the problem with that is when you're dealing with a relationship, you need to, again, come from a more empathetic perception. And your person's detached from themselves, so they don't even know how they feel. So never mind how you would feel. So you may feel as if this person should act a certain way or be a certain way. Because I'm feeling, Scorpio, you're very sensitive. You guys are very sensual. You're very passionate. You are very creative, a creative thinker. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to draw. It's a creative person, could be someone that just has a flair for putting things together, is good with cooking, is good with other artistic ventures, everything from working with plants to cooking. It's a very empathetic, sensitive energy. And the problem with detachment is that's a person that has gone through trauma. And a lot of times that's narcissistic energy, because they, again, can feel your sensitivity, but this person hasn't healed themselves. So they're always coming from their level of consciousness, which doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. And if they're not willing to get to know on a deep, intimate level because they have trust issues, then they're always going to come from this place. So that is a spiritual thing that we're going to see how that plays out within your card reading, because that word tells me a lot. Detachment of self is, again, trauma. It doesn't mean that those traumas and those psychological wounds aren't still there. We need to integrate the spiritual lesson, and we need to understand what we're doing in a behaviorism. If we have detachment, I feel like your person has detachment, and so emotionally you would not be getting what you need. And that could be your karmic theme. We'll see whether that's something that will, why you have attracted this person into your life. Because in order to break karmic cycles that eventually can turn into a karmic contract where you are connected to somebody that keeps you in a place of disempowerment, keeps you in a place of fear, keeps you in a place the wound that you grew up with, an inner child wound, keeps you stuck in that level of perception until you do something different to break the karmic cycle. Like having awareness at least will point you in the right direction of what you have to do. It's up to you again to take the action because you are your own healer. I'm just a conduit for spirit to speak. So we're going to look and see again how detachment is playing out within your situation. What we are experiencing is a part of a larger collective clearing. Don't feel alone because others are healing too. So again, your person knows that you are again connected to them as a soulmate, that there's some sort of spiritual reason. And I think that you do too. And what it is this person is deliberately coming into your life to trigger the shit out of you. If this is, we are experiencing a large collective clearing. When we're talking about a clearing, what are we talking about? We're talking about the emotions that are coming to the surface that we see and they're negative, and it's because we got triggered. So your person that's detached is triggering the shit out of you. But that doesn't mean that there's not unconditional love. It means that this is a divine connection. It's a karmic one though. So depending on how you deal with this is how it'll play out. And so I automatically know intuitively that this is where you continuously get stuck between your heart and your mind. Like your mind is like, I don't need this shit, because the person's triggering the shit out of me. But I also love this person and I want to be with this person. So it's again that heart and mind, that trigger, that again, that's why we get stuck in that mind chatter of what has happened. Trigger. So it's not a negative thing. However, if you don't know that it's a spiritual thing, you will think that this is negative. Because it can make you feel inadequate. It can make you feel a lot of different things. Our hearts are connected. Take a moment to close your eyes and feel the connection. So again, there's unconditional love there. This connection is about teaching you unconditional love, which is very difficult when we're being triggered, because we're being asked to come to a place of, first of all, letting it go so we can get to a place of spiritual equilibrium, which is balance. Otherwise, we're up in our head, we're angry. Again, you know when you're not grounded because you're stuck in a trigger. It's the experience. So what spirit is saying is that this is teach you about unconditional love. So it's telling me that you grew up with family that might have not given you the emotional support that you needed, Scorpio. So this person's coming into your life and they're actually kind of doing the same thing, which is triggering you. And I'm sure you're triggering this person because again, it's never a one-way deal. Spirit brings people into our lives that are going to teach us, and you're not just going to benefit, you're going to teach this person too, so they benefit. That's what soulmates do. You show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried memories. So it's a lot, like I'm feeling as if you are in separation with your person. And so detachment, like I said, comes from trauma. And if it's inner child wounds, it means, again, we're not supported in childhood. So being able to express oneself, being able to be vulnerable, being able to trust is very difficult. So again, the universe conspires to bring us people into our life that are going to help us change. They're going to help us evolve. into the highest state of consciousness, which is unconditional love. Don't listen to other people. Trust yourself to know the truth. I'm feeling like there's people that are around your person that, because they're not strong within themselves, that they get influenced very easy. Very easy. I feel like you, Scorpio, again, are a free spirit. You're intuitive, you're sensual, you're creative, you're passionate. And being that you live from your heart, you don't listen to other people. This person listens to too many other people, and then they don't like their life. But then they don't know how to get out of the situation, because I feel like they don't have that many people in their life, that the people that they have in their life that they really shouldn't trust, and they have given too much power. So maybe at one time they could have trusted these people, but that's what happens too when we don't trust ourselves and we continuously give people too much of our energy, and that means make decisions for us. And maybe, again, I feel like your person tends to say, well, it's easier, does what's easier, but in the long run, it hurts them, because now people in their environment are dictating too much, have too much power. So then they get confused, and then they don't really know what they feel. Which, again, this is their clearing, something that they're going to have to become aware of in order for them to heal. So even though you might be like, well, what the hell are they learning? Because they're around these people. Well, if they're not spending it with you eventually, because they know that this is a divine connection, they know that you're supposed to be in their life. That's how the reading started. However, because they are deluded, they don't really think that they need to put much effort into the connection, pleasing the people that are in their circle. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge this situation instead of surrender to it. Yeah, they get triggered the same way that you get triggered, because you're like, I don't really like the way that you're handling it. I don't really like how you treated me. I don't really like. So when there's wounds, because there's a lot of sensitivity. The sensitivity is usually, how dare you treat me that way? or you didn't respect me. You didn't think about my feelings. You didn't think about my needs. So again, the perception of how you both are dealing with each other is a little imbalanced. So that's going to create a lot of energy. But because you're soulmates and there's a lot of chemistry, because no one would stick around to deal with this shit if there wasn't a lot of chemistry. That's when there's a soul connection. So there's a lot of passion. And when there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of like sexual tension that's built up. So there's a lot of like this energy. And so if it's not released soon, it can turn very toxic, because there's a lot of frustration here. Like I said, where your person fights it, I feel like you fight it, because you can feel them fighting it. And when really they're not coming from a balanced perception, but you're not either. You're both, again, are looking through distorted perceptions, where spirit says, well, I brought this person into your life to help balance you. And you wouldn't sit there to look at your situation, and your person wouldn't. And that's why, again, it's creating a lot of turbulence. So we have one more from this deck. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you. Like I said, you're in separation. But this person realizes that is looking at their life. But they're looking at their life only because you are not in their life. Where, again, they're surrounded by people that they have always been surrounded by, that they've given too much attention to. They wouldn't even notice that anything was wrong unless you came into their life. They can't forget you. And that's why they know that this is an important relationship. Now, I'm feeling like they haven't given you anything. Because again, whoever's in their environment, they're giving more to. So whether they're business connections, this person's trying to make money, whether it's a past person that they feel like they need to do for, I don't know, we're gonna find out. But they realize that they're really undervaluing themselves. They're depriving themselves, that they're not happy in the life that they're living. So I want to just see, why did you attract a person that did this? What was the whole point of them triggering you? What was the emotions that it brought up? It's like, we want to know, the universe, when we're like suffering, why would you bring me this person? Like, it's like, Spirit says, there's a reason, trust me. So we're like, okay, what's the reason? Stress, pressure, burnout, disequilibrium. Find your balance, because you are out of balance. And when we have spiritual equilibrium, which is what I said before, is you're balancing. It's like your person is coming too much from a logical, analytical perspective, which is what I see is what I know, is what I believe, just the facts. So I need to make money, or I need these other priorities need to come before you. I'm not really gonna like have a relationship that I'm emotionally like open to, because I have trust issues. So I'm gonna try and have this relationship where I'm pretty much doing everything, and then I'm just gonna come in and have a relationship. There's actually no real relationship. We see how that's out of balance. But we also can see for you that you're like hurt over, because this is a wound that you had growing up. So you're like, you should have been here. You should be here. You should have asked me. You should, like, you just disregarded my feelings, my opinions. So Spirit saying, well, you're coming too much from an emotional standpoint, and this person's coming too much from a logical perspective. And you both need to find your balance, because it's a relationship. It's not one or the other. We need to incorporate the analytical along with the spiritual. Otherwise, the person's thinking that you're going to come all of the time from intuition, but if it's not taken in the right perception, and again, in the right situation, they're not going to be able to read properly, which is what's happening. They're only coming from their point of view, because if a person is detached, they're not really intimately getting to know you. So they don't know exactly what's okay, what's not okay. Like, I mean, how do you build trust? How do you build friendship? How do you build camaraderie? Like, you have to give time, energy, and your person's afraid to emotionally get connected. So, and for you, like I said, to sit there and continue to like get hurt when you see that the person is this way, well, that, and to handle it a certain way obviously is not the way that you handled it, made you become out of balance. Two people out of balance, with Spirit saying, but it's a soulmate relationship. So there is unconditional love. This you need to clear. We're living in spiritual times. So that's mainly the spiritual aspect. So don't be surprised if you see a little bit like, oh, what the fuck happened here with this person's actions? Well, they're out of balance. You're out of balance. So you can't manifest a balanced situation. So we have to look at the situation. So I'm just warning you. I mean, but we also will look at the hidden truth, because just because a person's actions might be really out of balance, which would trigger you more, by the way, doesn't mean that their hidden truths of what they really feel are completely opposite, because spiritual wounds come out as psychological reversals, where the person just gets in their own way all the time and sabotages the connection, because they, again, are not coming from a balanced perception. So we're going to look and we're going to see actually what's happened. Passion and desire came out. Ooh, so we see exactly what is connecting you to this person. Because like I said, it's a triggering one. And as this person said, a lot of times I know that this is a good relationship, but I can have a hard time surrendering to it because it's so triggering. Because you're like, I want you to show feelings. I want you to show something. The chemistry between us is off the charts. It's like, that's always, and understand why. I'm starting to feel like this is a soulmate twin flame connection. And I'm starting to feel this way because your person actually is somebody that's very logical, but knows that this is a spiritual connection. That's number one. Number two, also because the chemistry, the passion, desire, chemistry, it's again, that fire transmutes spiritual wounds. Again, when we see, look this side, when we see the fire, right? The fire transmutes those spiritual wounds. No other element can transmute a spiritual block. So we can't get rid of blocks. We can only transform them. And what we saw was a lot of inner child wounds here from detachment. There's something I'm hiding from you. So this person again is like secrets. These are not uncommon when we have detachment issues that people tend to compartmentalize. And again, you don't really need to know that, but then again, leaving out information doesn't allow you to make the right types of decisions. So this person's controlling. Please don't give up on me. But they really do have feelings. They know, again, that they can see actually, because I feel like you're on a higher vibration, and that doesn't mean you don't have childhood wounds. I feel like you've healed and have done healing work. But what I feel as if you've done work. I dream of you. So again, passion all over the place. So, I mean, that's all that's coming up. We don't see any real action. We see a lot of processing of information. We see a lot of that kind of stuff. And again, the passion, which is what is making your person actually look at themselves. Because they know in order to be with you, it's going to require change, whether they like it or not. And unfortunately, then the client doesn't like it. Healing doesn't feel good. One-sided relationship. So it's again, your person has a bad habit of which detachment issues is that. It's that I don't really know. I think what it is that you like. And I'm going to do things for you instead of the actual take the time to get to know. And this person doesn't realize it is a one-sided relationship. I don't know what I want. So there's a little bit of that too. And I have to say, because they only have had bad relationships. They grew up in an environment that didn't show that. So there's trauma. And when there's trauma, it doesn't mean that that person doesn't have feelings. What that is all my relationships wind up as dumpster fires. Do I want to take another chance and create another dumpster fire? It's like that is why your person doesn't know what they want. And that is why they also hide information and they omit information and why they control information and why it becomes a one-sided relationship. But the problem is because they've detached and they need to integrate that detachment. Now we're going to look at the hidden truths first, because I know I say all this, but like I said, it doesn't mean that they don't have true, genuine feelings. They also, after a while, when a person stays detached and they don't get what they want, they wind up, they can wind up becoming a lot more angry. And so, and then their behaviorisms become more toxic. So we look at the hidden truths because of that. Now, like I said, when it's soulmate twin flame, there's a fine line between love and hate. And remember, all these wounds and this person's triggering in them and they're not doing anything. So after a while, that's sexual tension. And so it creates a lot of fire, which is like, again, angry energy, because that there's those wounds make up that. So your person, I'm feeling, if they ever contact you, they might contact you a little bit like all over the place, emotional, because that's it. They have feelings of love and also hate and mad and frustration. And that's why they say love makes person crazy. It's like, well, you're getting a soul connection that's supposed to awaken things within inside of you. And but some of those things are hard to look at. Some of those things are difficult to go back into. So okay, I wish I could share my good news with you. So they're still not really ready to come to you. Ready, I hide behind material things. Again, listens to people outside of them. So, and I'm feeling like those people are business acquaintances and people that benefit, became closer than anyone. So this person is thinking that this connection is not really going to work out down deep inside. And they're almost banking on it. However, what I don't like is I see that they don't want you to move on, because there's a soul connection and they don't know what they want. So if this person comes into your life, what I'm sure of is that they are going to give you a lot of mixed messages. Because again, they know that this is a spiritual connection. They know it's going to require them to do change. And they see that they're not doing it. And they also see that the time is going by. And like, if you would go to them, hey, that would be perfect. But that's what they always get. They get people to go to them, and then they always just wind up in the one-sided relationship that works for them. And what Dad said there too was one-sided relationship. Like, this person is like, well, if everything will go my way, then then great. And so people have to become self-serving to this person, and the relationship never works out. It becomes toxic, and that's why they are detached. They're detached because they already go into the relationship knowing it's not going to work out. I can't stop thinking about you, but there's so much passion there. So it's, again, toxic. Again, only looking at one thing, and one thing is that passion. So the person would be coming to you hoping to have some fiery passion, and then figure out what they're going to do after the fact. Don't fall for it. Again, this person's not strong. I burn myself in my work to forget you. See, they're trying everything to try and get you to contact them. They don't want to contact you. They don't want to be subservient because they want everything their way. Now, if you don't contact this person, will this person contact you? Well, let me tell you something. I tell you one thing, but by all the games of this person, I wouldn't want to take this person back, because it's like they don't know what they want. And by the time they figure it out, again, no, repetitive cycles. It's the same thing. It's like they will come to you and they will make it like they want a relationship because there's passion there. They want what they want, but they don't want to really be in a relationship. They want to be in a one-sided relationship. So you have to say, Spirit, why did you bring me this person? What was the whole point? Because I see like one part of it was maybe I didn't get what I needed emotionally, but what else? Why else, Spirit, would you bring this person to me, and what healing energy am I supposed to bring? Because obviously this is a karmic. This is a soulmate past life. That's why there's so much passion, and it feels like a twin flame, but it's not a twin flame. And if a twin flame is ready to step it up into the divine masculine that there's, or feminine that they're supposed to be. And what I see here is that this person wants everything their way. They don't not looking to change anything. They want you to contact them. They don't want to contact you. They want to be the one that has all the power, because they want the passion. They want you without the strings, because they're basing you on all the other relationships that they've ever had, which is why they're confused, because they're like, I still have feelings for you, so how can I have you in my life, but in a way that's comfortable for me? Okay, so we see, okay, Spirit, why would you bring this person into Scorpio's life? Mixed messages, misunderstanding, and neglect creates more confusion in this world than trickery and malice. At any rate, the last two are certainly much less frequent. So mixed messages. So this person, like that, right? That's what this person is doing. It's toxic behavior. They're giving you mixed messages. So again, but what it's saying is like purposely doing misunderstanding and neglect is actually like a thing of trickery, because this person knows they don't know what they want. They know that they know what they want. They want you, and possibly like for like a physical connection, and for you to give them all this emotional like connection, all your energy, but they're not looking to give you the same in return. And so that's why they're going to come in with mixed messages, because they don't really know what they want. So you need to make the choice for them, because that's what that is. That's this person doesn't know what they want. And so what it is it's saying, it's like, well, misunderstanding and neglect create more confusion in this world than trickery and malice. At any rate, the last two are certainly much less frequent, meaning the person's not going in deliberately trying to like do trickery, but that's what they're doing. And it's the same exact thing as, you know, your misunderstanding, like, oh, you misunderstood. I'm deliberately giving you mixed messages. It's a form of gaslighting. So it's exactly the same thing. So it's about, for you, being clear on what it is that you want, Scorpio. And if someone gives you mixed messages, that's a sign of that this person is trying to trick you. They want their cake and eat it too. So by you continue to entertain this, then they are not going to change. And also there's a good chance that you'll get hurt in the process. And expectations and roles. So it's the expectation that this person, again, because they were a past karmic mate that feels a lot like a soulmate twin flame, which is all about unconditional love, making you step into the best version of yourself. A karmic mate actually makes you turn into the worst version of yourself, because it's based on trickery and karma and leaving stuff out, parts of the story out, because they don't know what they want. And so having an expectation that this person is a divine and they're going to act like a divine, you know, you can't. And a role like, well, you were my soulmate twin flame, you were supposed to play this role in Spirit's thing. That's not that. And if it is a role that you're giving them, is that person portraying that role? And what you saw was no, they weren't. Okay, so we ask Spirit next. What is the healing energy that we are supposed to bring into this? Because it's like, okay, I learned not to have expectations. And if a person claims to have a role, is their actions in alignment with that role? If not, then again, they're not. And a person that gives mixed messages only brings hurt. And again, action. My divine action ignites love and harmony. I am aware of my thoughts and driven by positive forces. I listen to my heart, my desire to manifest light, transform tests into growth. Transform tests into growth. Challenges into opportunities, and fear into love. So Spirit's saying you have to ground, get out of your head, get into your body, and give yourself the love. If you thought that this person that gave so little and so many mixed messages and wanted everything on their playing field that was uneven, then you have a misconception of what love is. And you, if you would go back into a situation like that, you would wind up in the same situation that you grew up in, feeling like a lack, not being supported. So give yourself the love, take the action yourself, because action is a form of fire, right? And so when we're again taking your desires, desire is a form of fire, and you manifest, yeah, you are transmuting, and you are putting your energy towards something positive that allows you to see yourself differently, because it helps you connect to different people. And trust. I trust life and my strengths. Each moment guides me to the light. Everything on my path is placed there for my growth, which is what I said. We get the message that we need, not what we want. We get the people that are going to come into our life to teach us how to honor ourselves, how to step into the best version of ourselves. Unfortunately, karmic ones hurt, but we learn more from these very sacred connections. So we honor them, and it's important to release them without anger. And again, and know that the universe knows what's best for us. Brought that person to help you grow and evolve. And this person is going to grow and evolve. They are, because they misjudged you. They thought that you were just going to go along with it. And what they saw is you're not. And that's why the relationship will work. And what they know is that you know their game, and that they're usually able to get over on it. And the thing is that they really truly had feelings for you. There really was a connection there. So this time it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt them, and you will stay on their mind for years to come as the one that got away. Because this person's a little bit of a narcissist too. They don't like when people see them for who they are and then actually go walk away without a scratch on them. Believe it or not, that's that person's karma, that they have to watch you live a happy life without them, while they stay connected to people in their environment that they've given too much of their time and energy, and they're not even happy in that. And so unfortunately, they live their karma every day. I'm going to leave that there. And remember, if you want to get a spiritual reading with me, and they are shadow readings, you have to write the word detachment in your comment bar. All right, Scorpio and everybody else, cross watchers out there, I'll talk to you all soon. And don't forget to check out the description box. All my products and services, subscriptions, shadow subscriptions, starting at $5 a month for my Wholeness Within blog. It includes the shadow healing, the inner child healing, the reparenting, the healing modalities of EFT, TFT, breath work, meditation, and so much more. And obviously cards, you get your messages and you see how your shadows are affecting your behaviorisms and how they're playing out within your life. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.